What is up YouTube, and welcome to this The Boys video. So you all showed a lot of love to last week's episode breakdown, and I thought I'd bring you another Boys video as we discuss a spoiler that I have avoided discussing in my episode breakdowns thus far. This will feature comic book spoilers regarding the identity of Black Noir and how I think it is significantly changed here in the TV show compared to the comic book. So this is your final warning before we jump into the video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, please do click off now. However, if you want to enjoy the video, please do consider dropping a like on it as well, as it does help us out massively. So Black Noir in the comics was revealed to be a clone of Homelander. This is a big twist, as he was created by Vought to be a failsafe in case Homelander overreaches and absolutely goes mad. And Homelander did indeed go mad, as he was blackmailed by the Butcher, something that was brought up in episode 5. However, this is where the comics and the show diverge very heavily. Black Noir was the one who attacked Becca Butcher in the comics, with memory loss affecting Homelander, meaning that he thought that he actually did all of this when he was being blackmailed. However, Becca died in utero, and Homelander invaded the White House, only to be killed by Black Noir, his actual clone. So that's a big divergence here because, well, in the show, Becca is alive and Homelander knows fully well what he did to Becca, meaning there would likely not be a bait and switch style of story here in the show, in my opinion. But could Black Noir still be a clone of Homelander? Well, this is where things get very curious. Becca is currently at a compound run by Vought, and essentially a prisoner of themselves, with her and Homelander's son being raised by her, but under the careful observation of Vought and the occasional visits of Homelander himself. So this is why I don't think that Black Noir is simply a clone. We already have a second Homelander in the show, and a third in the form of a direct clone could be too much. I think that Vought are actually using this, and they will be using the whole Homelander son to have him as a failsafe as well. Also, from a storytelling standpoint, it would also make Homelander more of a sympathetic character. If not only was there a clone running around, but the major crime, the crime that led to the story of the show to start, the thing with Butcher actually putting together the boys and recruiting Huey, well, the abuse of Becca was all a lie, and it doesn't fit with how the show is going. The show has the whole kind of thing against the supers, as how they're absolutely evil, and if it turns out that Homelander's great original sin was a lie, well, that would make people kind of feel sorry for him. I mean, people already are starting to like him a bit more than they should, just like people really misunderstand the Joker. The show has also diverged a fair bit from the comics, so does it matter if they kind of diverge here, to be honest? And it kind of has a Game of Thrones effect where book readers can actually enjoy the show a bit more than they would have because, well, they don't know what's going to happen. Now, we also know that Homelander is bulletproof and just invincible, and the only one who can go toe-to-toe with him so far is Stormfront. So in episode 5, Black Noir went to take out Billy, and a bullet actually went through his hand. So that means it might not actually be Homelander. So who is under the ominous black mask after all? Well, it could be another supe already mentioned on the show. When Homelander was talking to Stan about Compound V and the history of Vought, he actually mentioned Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, if you didn't know, was one of the earlier supers created by Vought, as mentioned by Stan, which was the same in the comics, but the first was actually Stormfront, with Homelander being created using the DNA of Stormfront, as Vought liked to recycle them. That makes the sex scene in episode 5 even creepier. However, that is another topic for another video. Soldier Boy is coming to the show in season 3, being played by Jensen Ackles of Supernatural, and in the comics, Soldier Boy was obsessed with making it onto the 7. He was the leader of Payback, another team from Vought, and he wanted so desperately to join the 7, so much so that every year at Herogasm, an annual orgy for, well, every hero, He was tricked into sleeping with Homelander every time, and he thought that this would be his induction into the Seven. But alas, it would never be. There's also a theme of characters not really being themselves this season, with Stormfront previously being the hero Liberty, and now Stormfront, well, that seems like this is a bit of a setup for a kind of precedent that characters are not who they say they are and could have previously been other heroes. Soldier Boy is a bit of a tragic character and so eager to please that he would go right into the Vaught's pocket and become their spy and chief dirty work doer guy. I mean, did no one else find it weird that he was crying on the hall when the Compound V scandal broke? Why would a clone of Homelander cry? Black Noir in the comics is nuts and shows no emotion, even when he is being serviced, so to speak. So this could have been Soldier Boy seeing his dream actually in tatters, as Vought and the Seven could have been no more at that moment in time. This would explain also why Black Noir wanted to find Billy that badly and went straight after him. He was a threat to the rest of the Seven and Vought, but more importantly that, he's a threat to Soldier Boy's chance to join the Seven, or even rejoin the Seven, as we're not too sure if Payback have existed in this show previously. We only really have shown the Seven. We haven't, like I said, heard from Payback, and I like the idea of Maeve finding people who've been kicked out of the Seven to form her own team, which, considering her motives are to get at Homelander, that team could even be called Payback. We could even see a giant cliffhanger of Season 2, where Soldier Boy is revealed to be Black Noir and openly joins the Seven as Maeve has her own team and leaves. Yes, this is all gigantic speculation, but I think it's interesting nonetheless, and I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments on this. Would you like to see this huge bait and switch twist here? And I think it'd be a great way to introduce sort of legacy characters to the show, because we've only really seen the Seven and a few others at the kind of weird sex club that we saw in the first season. So let me know what you think. That is it for the video. Please drop a like down below and please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon and goodbye.